That's not my car. Welcome back. This is my mate's car. He is a typical Robin customer of old. He's only got a motorbike license. This is his main form of transport other than his motorbike. He's had this car about 2 years and has done around 30,000 miles in it. So this car really does get around a lot. It is currently a cloud factory. Lots of clouds coming out the back. And it looks like water. I'll show you a video of what's happening with that now. Right, so you see how all that steam is coming out and dissipating as it floats away. Right, knock it off. See, it lingers in there, doesn't it? So today's plan, head gasket. I've never done a head gasket on one of these. In theory, should be easy. Carburetor off, inlet manifolds off, distributor cap off, leads off, spark plugs out, bits and bobs off. Simple. Rocker cover, rockers, what do you call them? Push rods. And then just undo the bolts on the head and it should lift off. But I know that these don't just lift off, they tend to bond on from what I've been told. So hopefully tappy tappy with a rubber mallet, and the gods are praying, you know. So hopefully tappy tappy with a rubber mallet, and we've been praying to the right gods, and it'll come off. If not, I'm gonna have to make a tool to lift the head off. So let's put this safe so I don't sit on it. Start stripping this down. So first order of the day was to move the light, so we've got some light in the engine so you guys can actually see what we're doing. I think what I'll do is I'll place you guys on the top here where you can see, and we'll probably just hyperlapse us taking this apart, because like I say, it's the first part of this is just like big unbolting session.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, none of these are tight.
I've never been that far in. They've never been off with me. There's something up with these two bloody spark plugs.
I'll take a look at those now. Hopefully, if they're cross-threaded, then we're in trouble. Right, exhaust and inlet manifolds are off, distributors off, and all the cables are off. So we got now good access to the engine. We've undone the top of the rockers. Let's get those. There's a washer there. Don't want to lose that. Right, what have we got here? It says, oh, that's your heater cable. It's different to mine. They're not used to one of those. Right. Oh, look at that. Does anybody have a spoon? So will I drop a nut, and what colour is this oil? And will I catch it all in a bucket? It is recording, that's the main thing. Oh,
That's mud.
it is, isn't it?
You got it in white. We're free. Is that all?
Yeah.
At least no, you got it.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad in there. Right, that's inside the oil pan. And there's nothing in there that looks sparkly, just chocolatey. So chocolaty's good, sparkly's bad. Well, chocolaty's not good either, but it's not as bad as sparkly. Come down here, it's a rare moment of a John cleaning something. What are you having, John? A latte, is it?
Yeah. Scraping all this up ready for a couple later.
As much as I said don't use too much of my old petrol, I think you need to use a bit more of my old petrol.
Yep.
The dipstick that one week ago was literally clear, and that was when the smoke was really bad.
Right, we've got the head off, we've got it all clear. That has come apart quite easy actually. A couple of spark plugs are a bit stuck, but they've come out. Now we're taking out the push rods. It's important to put these back in the same order they come out because they all have their own individual wear pattern. So putting them back in different slots will just wear them out quicker. So I've marked on your front and rear, and I'm just going to put them in all the holes. Try not to put them through John's windscreen. Make sure we are getting them in the right order. 6. Should be another 2. 7 and 8. Right. We'll now put these safe. Now there's the top of the head, and look, you can see all the water pooling there. Look, yeah, you can see the milk and custard and everything. Right. So the next job is to check the order of the head bolts, and we'll undo them in the appropriate order, and then we'll hopefully lift the head off. Right, so we've dug out the Bible. That's the order we're going to do the bolts in. So reversed what's in the book. So it's this one first.
Fives, 1 in. 4 is up there.
Already done now.
Remember number 3, eh?
That one's already done. We've done that one already. Have we?
1, 2, 3. There should be 6 on that side.
I think.
I can only see
We
5.
haven't done this one by mistake. Oh, that one's done as well.
How many are on that side? There's only 5. Oh, we missed it.
What?
He's behind that bloody pipe. Stupid us. Me.
Oh yeah. Right. And that's all we do now is undo it. I'll give you some light, dear. Yeah, you coming to see us?
Fine.
Right, go away. Go talk over there. Because I'm trying to do stuff.
Filming.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got everything stripped down. All the bolts are off the head, everything's off the head. We've got to remind ourselves to put the bits back in the right order. So what was that? There was the fuel hanger, there was the return spring, and on the front one there's also an L-shaped bracket right on the very front corner one. So you've got to make sure we put those back together, right? So now, coffee break, and then we see if the head comes off.
Yeah.
So far, everything is just undone. It's been like butter. It's been really, really simple to strip it down this far. Other than the fact we did get the head bolts wrong when we undone them. We didn't take off a rear water pipe, and there was a head bolt hidden behind it. So we got our numbers slightly wrong, which we should have seen that from the diagram. That's our own fault.
Yep.
I think coffee, maybe a bite to eat, and then try to lift that head off.
Fun.
I got a big arm there, so
Mallet you need, man.
I got a rubber mallet and bits of wood. All good. Right, let's try. I suppose the happy path here is that we give the head a wiggle and up it comes. So do you want to see if there's anything you can grab on that side?
good, was it? No, that's the whole engine.
So there's no movement there at all. Freeing things up.
Perseverance, I think, innit?
Yeah. Just trying to break the seal and stuff for a minute. Right, place your bet. So we've got a ratchet strap up to the beam of the garage roof. We've got it around the front of the head there, around the neck, the thermostat housing, and we're going to put some pressure on this until it starts to lift things up, and then we're going to hit on the back of the head with a block of wood and a mallet, and hopefully it'll just go pop. Can you say pop, John?
Pop.
No, it won't go like that. More pop. It's going to be quick. It's going to be quick. Right.
More like clunk and ow.
More like clunk and owl, yeah. Well, the question is, what's going to come first? Is the head going to come off, or is the roof going to come down? One of the two. Right. We definitely need to film this. Got to put the camera somewhere. I'll tell you what, we'll put you on top of the drill so you can look down on it, yeah.
Where do we start now?
Yeah, start watching it. You ready to try it?
If you don't mind, my elbow, I can feel I got arthritis.
Well,
in
you're
it.
left-handed, you're hitting it with your weekend, didn't you?
No, I'm lifting it with my left hand. Do I raise this?
Well, I think it's almost lifting the car up there now. See if it will tighten up a bit more.
I don't want to risk doing any more.
Ah, my hand again.
Well done. It won't work. Wash your roof or so. This is going to go up.
The thing is, there's not much tension on those, look.
I'm struggling with myself, so you will crack. Just careful when, if we drop. No.
Yeah, I think they've twisted on there.
Ah.
Sorry, it's not.
Broken, is it?
Then we just broke the ratchet. We've got the car in a jack and we're moving it over so it's under the beam. Trying a bigger strap. Staying over there. That's nearly the right place. Right.
Yeah.
That's straight up now.
Alright. You filming this?
We need to jump in unison.
Right.
One, two, three.
Nope.
Hey, all we're doing there is stressing the engine mounts.
Yeah. Let's leave that.
We're buying some more doors now. Right. We're going to make a tool.
Bringing that basket thing in here to cut? Or out here?
So we're not cutting anywhere near the Porsche. Right. So we need 9.5 inches of it. Right.
What a coincidence.
There's an extension.
Took you a while, but
Extension lead from the house.
I ruined a bit of filming there.
No, we'll leave that in. So what we've made is this little angle bracket here. I've drilled 4 holes here, so it slides over these studs. And there's 3 slots on the top, and I've got these head bolts on there. And you can see we've only got about 3 or 4 mil there. But the plan is now I'm going to wind down these nuts on the head bolts. And because the head bolts are fixed into the body of the engine, it should mean that the only thing that can happen is the head will lift off the studs. So we have got a new bar going across the top, lifting it on the rocker bolts, and it's resting on the head bolts there, can you see? So we're just tightening these down now, and it is, we think it is, isn't it? Yeah, I can get my fingernail under there maybe. So we're just tightening them up one by one, and hopefully it's lifting the head. We'll have a look around the other side now. Ah, yeah, and look, it is definitely starting to lift. Yeah. Right, this tool has managed to lift that side of the engine up, but this side isn't. We did put the manifold on there and tap it, and we have managed to tap up that part of the engine, but this one is still stuck. So this tool that I made earlier and was using it the wrong way around, we're going to weld some nuts on top of these, and then put bolts in through the top and screw them down. So I'm going to get the welder and get that made now. Oh, eyes.
yeah. Thanks, Steve. We're all blind. Well done.
Who said that?
John's on watch to tell us if it's starting to lift. I think it's actually bending the tool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
Oh, Christ, yeah, it's lifted it lovely.
That side's lifting. This side is coming up nicely.
So when we're winding this one out, this is bending up. So we're going to weld this bracket across here onto this one. I could do with making another one to go off that one as well, but I don't think we have another piece of metal. So that one's going on there, so I'm going to weld that in a minute. Jason stopped cleaning my helmet.
Hey, did he?
Right, we've got it up about 1 inch now, for that. So that tool has helped a lot. So we're nearly there. Just got to work out some way now to wedge it off the top. And I know you shouldn't really do welding over the top of the engine like that, but John Sky told me to do it. Perseverance.
Oh yeah, here we go. Go on, keep on doing that. You're making leaps and bounds now. Actually, you're dropping it on the front now.
I was going to say, then start. Okay.
Yeah, you can pull over there while he does it.
I don't think it'll come out, mind.
So I tried to do it with my left hand now.
Just pop it back there, Steve. Can you get it?
Oh, we're practically there. Keep on going. Go on.
Try and lift him off.
Ready? Oh, there we go.
Oh, you
Jace.
that much more.
There you go. Give it a whack.
Give it a tap at the back.
He's getting it.
Right, you want to be careful it doesn't bounce on the studs now, mind. This bloody radiator cable's in the way.
Who knocked it up, bad on the front?
It's off on the front.
You tap him down a bit there, Steve. Look at that. As soon as it'll come off now. Don't do anyway. Didn't know. Lift. There you go.
Hallelujah.
Alright, hang on.
You got alright there. Sticky cables in the way. Do you know that's only clipped on, right? And all that could be gone.
What's it catching on? I don't want to scratch the head on the
Cable again. There we go.
So I dropped it on my head.
Oh, it's damage then.
None, I don't think. The odd little scuff mark, I think,
No,
where someone's wedged something into the head.
we got
John.
Me, no? That's Jason, he was the one who metal on metal.
We won't tell until it's cleaned up, but I think we're alright. Well, I think we can definitely say from looking at that the water was leaking into number one, because look, that's number one is decarbonised. All the others got a good layer of carbon on them. So whatever was going on, it was going on into number one cylinder. And that mark there, yeah, you got a casting mark there, look. So it was coming up through there, I think, and then going through the top of the gasket there. And see there's a witness mark as well, where it's cleaned there. And you can see where it's cleaned around the valve there. And there's the rest of the head.
Yeah, it's all white there, black.
Right, well that took a lot longer. Only took us an hour to strip it down, and then another 7 hours I think it was to actually get the head off. That was really stuck on there. We've got it all on the bench there. There's a tool that that's the head. There's a tool that we made. That needs tidying up and that'll be used again, I think. But for now, it's night time. Go watch TV, come back, tidy it all up in the morning and put it back together. There we are, Master Bodger in action, cleaning up that surface. A lot of this is actually marks in the head rather than dirt that's left on there, so casting marks. We're not going to get it skimmed, we're just going to put it back together and hope for the best.
Oh yes.
That cleaning is underway on that one as well, so hopefully it'll go back together okay. There is that casting mark there. Now this is cleaned up, I can feel there is a bit of a lip on there, so I don't think these liners have dropped. So pull it back together, see how it does. Right, everything's as clean as we can get it. We're going to give it a paranoia wipe now. Head is all clean and done over here. Again, same thing, going to give that a paranoia wipe. And then put it all together.
I don't know whether we should get in there with a sharp knife or leave it.
Quite a few of them are out, isn't it? That one's out, that one's out. And it is on the right way round. My concern is it's raising up in between these ones here. We're looking at the head gasket, and when we get these holes lined up at the top, none of these holes are lining up. None of them will slide over the pins without damaging the gasket. They're all way out. Every single one. Doing it on a drill press is not going to be the way to do it. These holes are just way too out. I'm going to have to put it on a drill press and then pull against the drill bit to cut it. So I think I'm just going to have to get a little deburrer on there and just gently make the holes bigger with a burring tool. Right, we have oversized all the head bolts holes with a Dremel. We had an accident on this corner where it's snagged and it's broken the corner, so that's not ideal. So we're going to clean that up. We will have to use a little bit of instant gasket seal around that head. Now that is only around the head bolt, so fingers crossed that's okay. And also some of the sealant there got nicked, so we'll have to put a little bit there as well. So none of this is ideal. This gasket should have just dropped on, but it's a pattern part and it's just so out, it's unbelievable. So that's a bit of a gut there. So what we'll do is we'll make sure everything's greased up, so if it does go next time it won't be so hard. So we're about 3 days into this job now. It should have been a day's job. By the time that head took 5 hours to get off. We had to hammer hell out of that head to get it off those studs. It was so stuck. And then finding out the gasket didn't fit. That was the next day. We didn't try to fit it that evening. That didn't fit, so then we had to go get burring tools, so that's another pain. But 3 days into a 1-day job. Right, that gasket is now sitting on there. You can see how out this hole was. We've burred that all the way across. A lot of these ones are still out, but I'm not going to go burring it. Just risks doing too much more damage to the head. That one that we got wrong was over on this corner here, so we'll put a bit of instant seal around there, which is not ideal. We are expecting to change this thing sooner rather than later. We'll put the head on now, and what we'll do is we'll put a bit of copper grease on top of these studs or in the holes of the head before we slide it on, so these get a nice grease in. And I just put it together and fingers crossed, I guess.
There we go.
Right, we got all the head bolts back on. They just nipped up. We've got the brackets on. The hanger will go on that one in a minute. Once we've tightened it all up, it goes on later. Right, torque wrench time. Right, torque wrench. I think for this, cue hyperlapse and Benny Hill music. Right, where? I'm refitting the rocker studs, so to wind them in, I'm just using the old lock nut method. And I'll lock these two nuts together. Like that. And now I can wind the stud in. One.
That's the rear you got now.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just give this rocker a little tap with the rubber mallet, and that has dropped in, so I think that was resting on a little bit of that gasket that doesn't fit right. So now we can carry on. Right, distributor's back on. We had a little bit of wiring that was broke, which we fixed into the fuse box. All the connections done down there. Spark plugs it in and everything. Thermostat is going back in. Nice new gasket, which way does this gasket go around? See?
Dun, dun, dun.
There we are. So, when things get to a certain age, you should always check your thermostat housing. Right, there's the oil pan cleaned out. All the sludgy stuff is in there. John's chucking my tools everywhere. And this lovely gasket was in the box of parts off Adrian. So again, thanks again, Adrian. Right, it's all back together. Oil going in. We haven't changed the filter. We're just going to run it with this old oil in it. This is one I just found lying around in the basement. And then John will change the oil to be 50W20. I think we've got mineral oil when that arrives with a new filter. So hopefully this will start and run, and then we can back it out. Alright, going for a first start. Yeah, out of gear.
Out of here. Prop.
Alright, it's running. There's no smoke at the back.
Give it a minute.
Hey! It's running right. Does it feel like it's got full?
Yeah, it feels a bit like speed. Yeah, it's not running at all.
Right, okay. Right, we need to adjust the timing. We haven't even touched that yet, but
yeah.
it's started and it's running, so that's something. We'll twiddle the timing. Let's see if we can get it running better. Right, it was running. It didn't seem to have full power, and then it stopped running, and we were turning it over, and we couldn't see what it was. Now it looks like the fuel pipe going into the fuel pump has been knocked off. So we're putting that back on, and fingers crossed, then it'll run. Right, fuel pipe's reconnected. Fingers crossed. It's going to take a bit of revving.
Go.
Way! Oh, was that you? Yeah! What? Don't forget it's cold. And we haven't done the timing.
No,
Right, what happens when you rev it? Right.
that's cold though.
Yeah. Is the chalk all the way out?
Huh?
Is the chalk out?
No, it chucks in, chucks off.
Right, pull the chalk out. Right, we need to adjust the timing. Right, out he comes. Right, we've got to watch the Porsche.
Okay.
Right, go on. So there we are. Garage is empty. He's made it home safe. He's got a filter and oil. He's going to run it for a little bit now, then drop all the oil, and then do the tappets and the timing himself to get that finished off. But yeah, job done. I get one of my own vehicles back in now and crack on. I think either the Porsche or the Rialto. So see you next time, guys. Thank you very much.